Ghazni, and also transliterated as Ghazni, is a city in southeastern Afghanistan with a population of around 190,000 people. The city is strategically located along Highway 1, which has served as the main road between Kabul and Kandahar for thousands of years. Situated on a plateau at 2,219 meters above sea level, the city is 150 kilometers south of Kabul and is the capital of Ghazni province. Ghazni is the traditional homeland of the Ghilji Pashtuns, a significant Pashtun tribal confederation. Their stronghold was located in Kalati Ghilji on the Kandahar-Ghazni road. The Ghilji have played an integral role in the region as powerful soldiers for the Ghaznavid dynasty. Ghazni Citadel, the minarets of Ghazni, the palace of Sultan Masoud III and several other cultural heritage sites have brought travelers and archaeologists to the city for centuries. During the pre-Islamic period, the area was inhabited by various tribes who practiced different religions including Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Arab Muslims introduced Islam to Ghazni in the 7th century and were followed in the 9th century by the Saffarids. Subuktigam made Ghazni the capital of the Ghaznavid Empire in the 10th century. The city was destroyed by one of the Ghurid rulers, but later rebuilt. It fell to a number of regional powers, including the Timurids and the Delhi Sultanate, until it became part of the Hottaki dynasty, which was followed by the Durrani Empire or modern Afghanistan. During the First Anglo-Afghan War in the 19th century, the fortifications of Ghazni were partially demolished by British Indian forces. The city is currently being rebuilt by the government of Afghanistan in remembrance of the Ghaznavid and Timurid era when it served as a major center of Islamic civilization. The Afghan National Security Forces have established bases and checkpoints to deal with the Taliban insurgency, but in August 2018 the city became the site of the Battle of Ghazni, with the Taliban briefly occupying it and taking control of most of the surrounding area. In 2013, ISESCO declared Ghazni the year's Islamic capital of culture. The city was founded sometime in antiquity as a small market town. It may be the Gazaka mentioned by Ptolemy, although he may have conflated it and the town of Ganzak in Iran. In the 6th century BC, it was conquered by the Achaemenid king Cyrus II and incorporated into the Persian Empire. The city was subsequently incorporated into the empire of Alexander the Great in 329 BC, and called Alexandria in Opiana. By the 7th century AD, the area was a major center of Buddhism. In 644, the Chinese pilgrim Xuanzang visited a city named Jaguda, which was almost certainly the contemporary name of the later Ghazni. In 683 CE, Arab armies brought Islam to the region. Yaqub Safari from Zaranj conquered the city in the late 9th century. The Safarids reduced the formerly Laviq dynasty to a tributary status. In 962, the Turkic slave commander of the Samanid Empire, Alp Taygin, attacked the city and besieged the citadel of Ghazni for 4 months, wresting the city from Abu Bakr Laviq. Around 965, Abu Bakr Laviq recaptured Ghazni from Alp Taygin's son, Abu Ishaq Ibrahim, forcing him to flee to Bukhara. However, this was not to last long because Abu Ishaq Ibrahim shortly returned to the town with Samanid aid and took control of the town once again. For nearly 200 years, the city was the dazzling capital of the Ghaznavid Empire, which encompassed much of what is today Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, eastern Iran and Rajasthan. The Ghaznavids took Islam to India and returned with fabulous riches taken from Indian princes and temples. Although the city was sacked in 1151 by the Ghurid Alauddin, it became their secondary capital in 1173, and subsequently flourished once again. Between 1215 and 1221, Ghazni was ruled by the Khwarezmid Empire, during which time it was destroyed by the Mongol armies of Genghis Khan's son Ogadei Khan. In the first decades of the 11th century, Ghazni was the most important center of Persian literature. This was the result of the cultural policy of the Sultan Mahmud, who assembled a circle of scholars, philosophers, and poets around his throne in support of his claim to royal status in Iran. The noted Moroccan traveling scholar, Ibn Battuta, visiting Ghazni in 1333, wrote, "We travelled thence to Parvan, where I met the Amir Buranteh. He treated me well and wrote to his representatives at Ghazna enjoining them to show me honour. We went on to the village of Chark, it being now summer, and from there to the town of Ghazna. This is the town of the famous warrior Sultan Mahmud ibn Sabakhtagin, one of the greatest of rulers, who made frequent raids into India and captured cities and fortresses there. His grave is in this city and is surmounted by a hospice. The greater part of the town is in ruins and nothing but a fraction of it remains. Though it was once a large city, it has an exceedingly cold,